And we are focusing on the carbohydrate because we focus on the carbohydrate metabolism. But at the same time, we can understand that what is going to happen to the other food also. Like for example, when we take the carbohydrate in our mouth, so what are the carbohydrates we take? What type of food, carbohydrate food we take? So that we know that if we list them, that is going to be that starch is one of the major carbohydrate, polysaccharide. Then we take like milk, that we can get the lactose from there. We take our table sugar, that is sucrose. These are the carbohydrates that we take with our food. So what happened? In our mouth we have saliva, and saliva contains enzyme. That enzyme we call it the salivary alpha amylase. Why the name is the amylase? Because you know the starch component is the amylose and the amylopectin, right? So starch is the amylose and amylopectin. These are the starch component. We also another carbohydrate we take, that is the glycogen. Glycogen is another kind of polysaccharide that can be found in animal. So it's similar to starch, but it's more branching, not that simple. So if we take that one, so that alpha amylase, they can add from this carbohydrate, especially on the polysaccharide. So polysaccharides are very long chain polysaccharide. Then in the mouth, it becomes like the short chain polysaccharide. So that's what it comes, the polysaccharide short chain. But the sucrose, those are the disaccharide, lactose disaccharide, and the maltose, they are the disaccharide. They remain the same in our mouth and in the stomach also. So when the food goes to the stomach, then all the polysaccharide converted to the disaccharide. So that means all the amylose, amylopectin, and glycogen, they are going to be converted to what? What would be the disaccharide for the amylose? Can you think about it? What would be the name of that disaccharide when it will convert it to from it is coming from amylose or amylopectin or glycogen? What is amylose? This is polysaccharide of what? Lactose, polysaccharide of lactose, glucose, fructose, or what? Starch the polysaccharide of glucose, right? And then disaccharide of glucose. When we have the glucose, what we call them? When disaccharide glucose attached, two glucose attached, what we call it? Maltose. See, I told you that you cannot forget anything from this chapter. Everything will come up with you. So now you need to recall those things, otherwise it will be hard for you to understand what is happening. So all these glycogen, starch, everything will convert into maltose, which is a disaccharide. So maltose and other disaccharide, lactose and sucrose, they will come up to the stomach. After the stomach, then they will move to small intestine. And in small intestine, we have another type of alpha amylase, another enzyme that we call is the pancreatic alpha amylase, because they are in the they are coming from the pancreatic, and this is different from that salivary alpha amylase. So this amylase and for the maltose, we have the enzyme that is called maltase. That will be the enzyme. And for sucrose, we have sucrase. And for lactose, we have lactase. All are disaccharides. Now all will be converted to their corresponding monosaccharides. So maltose will be glucose, plus glucose, because 2 glucose should come from the 1 maltose. Sucrose, what sucrose is going to give us? Do you remember? Sucrose is the glucose plus fructose. So the fructose, glucose and fructose, and lactose is the galactose and glucose. All these monosaccharides will form in the small intestine. So we are having then glucose, fructose, galactose. These are the major monosaccharides that will form in the small intestine. Now all the monosaccharides, they are very polar, so they can come to the bloodstream now. So they will be absorbed in the small intestine tract and then come to the bloodstream. So then blood will carry them to the different part of the body and different part of the cells. So through the blood, they can enter into the cell, and actually after that, when they are absorbed in the small intestine, we call it, that is the end of the stage 1. So this part we call is the digestion. Up to the small intestine. So mouth to small intestine is the digestion. So we start with the grinding of our food. There you can think about it. If we don't have the carbohydrate, if we have the lipid, so lipid will be hydrolyzed also. That will be like the glycerol and the fatty acids. If we have the protein, protein will be converted to the amino acids after number of hydrolysis. So after the digestion now, what is now next is our the central pathway, that is the stage 2. Stage 2 is the acetyl coenzyme A production. So now we are going to see how that is going to happen. So we'll focus on the glucose. Among these carbohydrate, we are going to focus on the glucose because glucose is the most important carbohydrate, and that is the most preferred biofuel for our body.